Hello and welcome back to Wild Theories. I'm the best host, Alex.
And I'm Joe. I'm also a host here as well, though.
Not as good as me.
Jeez, that's well. Fine, I'll just leave. I mean, it's the last episode anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
What's even the point?
Yeah, you know what? What is the point of all this? Why are we doing this? Why are we here? It's all a simulation anyway, as you said last time, Joe.
I'll tell you what the point is. The point is Nick Cage. This has all been for Nick Cage. This culminates in the best episode of the season. I really do think.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So yeah, today we're focusing on Nick Cage. We both have brought theories, subjects about the great Nicolas Cage.
And we did try to get Nick Cage here for this episode, but unfortunately he wasn't answering our phone calls.
No.
So we've had to get the next
messages.
best thing. We've got Connor Webb back again.
Yep.
Here to
Is
save
this
the day.
Third time now?
Hello. Yeah, this is the third.
Yeah, third time. There you
go. Yeah, I'm not Nick Cage, I'm afraid, but I have seen some films that Nick Cage has been in, so that's going to have to do.
Next best thing.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly. Yeah. So
can you do a Nick Cage impression?
I might by the end of the episode, once I've warmed my voice up a bit.
Okay.
I'd feel.
Oh, I can't wait.
I wouldn't feel comfortable going into it at this stage, but remind me later, and I'll have a go.
I honestly cannot wait for that. Well, that's going to be great.
What do you guys think it is about Nick Cage that has made him so memorable as an actor?
I mean, to be honest, it's the way he acts. At least to me, anyway. Like, no other actor acts the way he does with a lot of his characters. Like, he can act serious, and then he just, next thing you know, batshit off the rails, screaming. And it's hilarious. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, I think he's known for being weird, but then he isn't always weird in every single role. Like, he does sometimes play it straight, and then that kind of adds to the weirdness because you don't know when he's going to go weird or if he is, and I don't know. And he's like an enigma.
That's the best part. He's keeping you on edge, isn't he?
He's always jump back and forth, like even in the same film.
Yeah.
Should be honest, going from that high energy to going back to like naturalistic kind of style of acting to then jumping up again and going back. I for you not to burst out laughing and to have the energy to constantly do that.
Yeah, bro, he's just been he's difficult to figure out.
Yeah, he's an enigma, which is probably why there's a few conspiracy theories out there floating around about the man.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to hear because I've sort of seen a fair few Nick Cage films. I've know a bit about Nick Cage, but I can't think of any Nick Cage conspiracy theories really. So I'm interested today. I'm interested to hear what you've got, but I've also
should be fun.
So I'd say I've listened to the other episodes that you've put out so far.
Yes.
The including the one, the two actually that I've done with you, but I quite like it. I quite like the notion that it's a bit of a running sort of trend so far in the podcast that by the end of each episode,
I know what you're going to say.
Things kind of devolve towards the end where
I don't know what you're on about.
You sort of have to question whether Alex knows what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
I don't know what you're on about. Before we start, do you want to say what the winner gets after this episode?
Yes. Yeah, because this is the last episode of the season. So at the end of the episode, no one's going to be choosing what the next one is.
It'll be the end.
Instead, we've got a prize. There's going to be a prize here. The loser has to buy the specific item for the winner. And
so that means I'm going to be buying it for Joe.
Probably. I hope.
So
the winner is.
It's for this episode specifically. It's not for the series so far.
No, it's just for this episode specifically.
Okay.
And I believe it's something that might have actually appeared in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is, it's like a cushion.
Yeah.
That's like red sequins, and when you rub your hand across it, it turns into Nick Cage's face.
Yeah.
It's very nice cushion.
I bought my sister one of those, but it's Danny DeVito.
Nice.
Danny DeVito. Yes.
No, I need both of those, just like a matching pair.
Well, at the end of season 2, we'll have a Danny DeVito episode, and the loser can buy that. There you go.
He's brandishing an egg, as seen in an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, man.
That is a 15.
So I got a nat 1.
You know what this means?
You probably can't see it, but yeah.
This means
you go first.
For the first time, I've actually won this roll.
I finally rolled lower. Yes.
Because the only time I've gone first is because I agreed at the end of the episode before that I would go first because you've always gone first.
And I always lost. And then I still lost.
Yeah, because you're like, I only lose because I have to go first every time.
Exactly.
And I was like, all right, Alex, I'll go first in the next episode.
Still lose. I mean, it is my luck, isn't it?
So,
but,
the most tempting theory to go with, I think we both agreed in the end that we weren't going to go for it because it was just the obvious one, and that's Nick Cage being a vampire. That's one that's sort of all over the internet because someone had this photo that they were trying to sell on eBay of, I can't remember who it was. It might have been like some distant descendant of them, and it's from like the 1800s or something. And it looks just like him. And it to the point where it's like been shown to Nick Cage. Like it's gone that far. But so that's quite an interesting one, but it's one that pretty much everyone knows. So I really didn't want to go with that. I wanted to deep dive a little bit.
The thing is, I did actually, because mine connects to it a little bit. Not exactly. It's a different theory, I promise. I did have a look at it myself because I was just vaguely interested. But there's actually quite a lot of celebrities and people that have old photos of other completely different people. And they look so similar.
I was going to say, I've definitely seen that for Keanu Reeves.
Jay-Z is another one that's there's a photo of some guy that looks just like him.
I've not seen that. Yeah, I can definitely
Do you reckon I'm some
Keanu.
Old, great, war general or something that looks like me?
Maybe.
We got to find it. 100%.
Like a sort of 15th century stoner.
Yeah. 100%. Gotta be.
But I remember in a
hoarding all the hemp.
I remember in a previous episode we were talking about coincidences and how conspiracy theorists usually say that there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah.
But I think these sorts of photos are actual proof that there is indeed such a thing as a coincidence.
Yeah.
You think of all the billions of people that have lived since humanity has come into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
chances are the chances of someone having existed that didn't look almost exactly like you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's only so many. It's like looking at a lock. There's only so many combinations you can do. So eventually they're gonna match.
So many variables.
How long? Yeah.
There's people that have come and gone, and people that will exist in the future that will probably be the spitting image of you.
Yeah.
It's just. Yeah, like you said, there's only so many things you can do with a human face.
It's
there's only so many combinations.
The doppelganger effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just the phenomenon of there being someone that looks eerily eerily like you, and I don't know. Maybe there is some reason behind it, like you turn out to be relatives or twins separated at birth, or maybe not. Maybe it is just a
I
complete stranger that just happens to look.
Yeah,
I saw a really weird
often
one
it is
the
just
other day.
coincidence. Yeah.
One that I see quite often is whenever I look in the mirror, there's a guy that just looks exactly like me
Really?
staring back. It's like fucking weird, bro.
Oh.
But every time he's copying me, everything I do, I tried punching him once. It didn't work very well. I did hurt myself. There's like some sort of barrier in between, but one day
Don't
I'll
do
get
drugs,
him.
kids.
Wow. I don't do drugs. Don't know what you're on about.
Well, anyway, carrying on from that, what I'm going to actually be talking about is Nick Cage being a member of the Illuminati.
Oh.
I forgot you were doing that. Yeah.
So, honestly, there is not a lot to go by. Not a lot to go on, I should say, for this.
My immediate, I mean, I'll obviously let you explain, but my immediate sort of reaction to that is, aren't the Illuminati supposed to be very much behind the veil, sort of secretive in the shadows? The idea of a famous Hollywood actor being Illuminati
hiding in
seems
plain sight.
I mean, maybe you could argue that, but it seems to sort of defeat the purpose. But anyway,
no, because the Illuminati are supposed to be people who are in positions of power. No, I think this is probably where the misconception comes in here, because
there's no
it's
greater
like
position of power than having been in National Treasure 2.
Yeah, well, see, an actor is not really in a position of power, except perhaps they do have the power of being able to just be likable, like people. They
Maybe
have an
for like
audience.
a director or producer.
An actor has an audience, absolutely. So, like, they can convince people into doing things. I mean, we see it all the time. So perhaps that's the position of power that someone like that might have, but. Yeah, there's not a lot to go by here. It kind of all hinges on this weird thing. Like, there's a lot of weird things that Nick Cage has done over the years. But one of the weirdest is the fact that he's already got his grave sorted, and it's a pyramid.
Wait, he does?
Okay.
He already has his grave?
Yeah. So he has already set out his grave. He's built himself a pyramid. It's in New Orleans. You can go there and
I'm
see it.
I'm Googling this.
How big is this pyramid? Like,
I mean, it's not like pyramids of Giza size.
No,
it's quite prominent in the cemetery that it's in, though.
I'm picturing
he does.
towering.
What the hell?
It has written on it in Latin. I'm not even going to try and say it, but it translates to everything from one.
Okay.
Omnia ab uno.
Yeah,
that's
so
says.
The fact that it's got this like weird message written on it and it's a pyramid has made people be like, Illuminati.
What does it mean again?
Yeah. Okay.
What does it mean again?
Yeah.
Everything from one.
Everything from one.
Is that a reference to something in particular?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bro, it's weird.
Not that I mean, I can't find any information as to what that's supposed to mean. I guess something private, but
yeah.
Most people would assume the pyramid thing is just either one a weird, quirky Nick Cage thing, or it's like a homage to National Treasure. But yeah, I mean, it's just an unexplainable, quirky Nick Cage thing.
It's weird that he's just gone and been like, yeah, you know what? I mean, I guess fair play for being prepared, but like...
I think... So he's always had like a real interest in New Orleans, and this is a very famous cemetery. Lots of famous people from this place are buried there. And I think he probably just bought himself a plot because he wanted to be buried in this very specific cemetery. And then why he had a pyramid built, I mean, because he's Nick Cage, I guess. He doesn't really need to explain any more than that.
Yeah. No.
I think there's a certain level of expectation from Nick Cage at this point for him to buy a plot for him to be buried on, and then just have like a normal cross or something. No, not Nick Cage.
Yeah, it had to be something a bit outlandish, but yeah, it's kind of cool. I quite like it.
It's definitely an interesting topic to be like, oh yeah, when I die, I'm going to be buried in a pyramid.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of a power play. How many people can really be like, yeah, when I get buried, yeah, pyramid, pharaoh.
Yeah,
not many people can do that.
But I mean, talking on the Illuminati and whether or not someone like Nick Cage could be involved, I think a lot of celebrities, there's been this kind of discussion that many of them might be part of the Illuminati, and whether or not the Illuminati exists. I mean, technically, the Illuminati did exist. Like, it was actually an organization that was around for a while. The version of the Illuminati that existed and the one that we kind of have in our heads as two very different organizations, though. And I think it's kind of just this name that's given to groups of people who are in power that perhaps work alongside one another. And I think maybe that's a conspiracy that I can believe, because it just kind of makes sense.
Is this another one of the conspiracy theories that Joe believes?
Well, I mean, people who are in power, people who are leaders of countries or leaders of big corporations.
Yeah,
they do meet regularly. They do, they do communicate with one another, and they likely make business deals. And most of these things are done secretly. I mean, they often have private retreats and stuff like that. There's a
Bohemian
lot.
Grove.
There's a lot to. Yeah, exactly.
Like how that is a real thing, but it's
and no one's allowed to go there, and no one's allowed to see what they get up to, and so
I guarantee I could get in.
So what have you got to say
right,
Alex? Have you got to say for yourself?
My turn. Warm up.
What you got to say for yourself?
Right. So, my one. Yes, I did research on the theory that Nicolas Cage is actually an alien.
Oh.
So, a bit similar to a vampire. Like, some people believe he's 150 years old, and refer back to that photo we were talking about earlier,
right?
Of the Civil War soldier. Right. The main theory, however, stems from the fact mainly how fucking weird he is and acts. And you know what the best part about this is? And this is my secret weapon that I had on my sleeve. Nicolas Cage actually believed this theory himself until, whilst he was a child, he believed he was an alien.
I've heard about this. Yeah.
Okay. Let me find the thing I got. So the story of it was that Cage was abandoned by his family and left on Earth to die. He was then found by a Hollywood director, Francis Ford Coppola, who decided to raise Cage as his nephew. As he grew older, Cage began imitating actors and voices of various people he met, which resulted in his now strange persona. I mean, it does kind of make sense why he's,
it's kind weird, of like Superman's origin. It's like a Kal-El.
Yeah, kind of. Maybe he is Superman.
But instead of a rural farm, he's sort of a Hollywood director. And the alternate Superman about where if he landed in Soviet Russia and then he got raised to be the Russian superweapon. It's that, except not a rural farm in America or Russia. It's a Hollywood director's house. And then he raises him to become Nick Cage.
I can see why he likes this theory as well, because I know he's a big comic fan. He named himself his real name's not Nick Cage. No. It's Nicolas Coppola.
Yeah,
and Cage comes from Luke Cage from Marvel Comics.
Yes, I've heard that. I've heard that, and
So
he,
yeah, he's definitely
I think he is a
comic book fan.
huge Superman fan as well.
I mean, he almost played Superman. I mean, he
Yeah.
kind
He
of did
did.
play Superman, didn't he? Really? I mean,
Yeah.
he appeared recently in the Flash for a very
weird,
brief second.
a weird sort of
Yeah.
CGI version of his face appeared in the Flash for a second.
Yeah. I don't
And
know how I
that's the
feel
best
about
we're
that.
ever gonna get of Tim Burton's
Man.
Superman, which still makes me even more sad than I already was before the Flash came out.
What has he named his kids? Because I feel like doesn't he named his kids weird like comic book names?
One of them, I think, one of his kids is called Kal-El. If
Yeah,
that's how you say it, which is the
let
name of
me-
Superman.
I'll Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kal-El.
Kal-El and Weston Cage and August Francesca Coppola Cage.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and Kal-El is
Kal-El is
Superman's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this goes even further because obviously, as I said, Nick Cage believed this. He did an interview in 2022, apparently, or this is when the article is. Nicolas Cage admitted that he was shocked to find out that he had normal organs and a normal skeleton when he went to the doctors as a child to find out.
Oh, I thought you were going to say just recently.
No. Like when he was a child, he found out he had normal organs and normal skeleton. Apparently, he was shocked to find that out. And apparently said, this is a quote by him, "My father told me he felt like he had to introduce himself to me because I was such an alien." So it also kind of goes on to like connect the dots to him struggling like quite socially, like being quite socially awkward as a kid. And that could further explain the way he acts, but it also for some reason picks up this theory that he's in fact not from this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which that's just hilarious. Yeah, and then obviously you got the photo that I said before, like we spoke about that already pretty much. How a lot of people say that also proves it because only aliens can live to be 150-year-old or a vampire. So the kind of links together there, but the main part is even Nicolas Cage thought, yeah, I'm an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had to go to the doctor's office and be told
that you're not an alien.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I got, to be honest. There wasn't too much
peak
more on this.
Nick Cage right there.
Yeah. I do like that as a story, as a concept, yeah. But
I think part of the explanation for some of his weirdness, at least when he's acting, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but he has he developed his own acting style.
Which he calls, I've heard this before. Yeah, I've heard.
So he calls it nouveau shamanic, and it's like, so it's a combination of like typical modern Western acting, which is to be as realistic as possible.
Naturalistic acting, yes.
Yeah,
and a lot of that was invented by the Russians.
So he started with doing that, and if you look at a lot of his earlier films, you'll see that's how he's acting, the typical way. But he began to sort of leave that behind. He still does it a little bit sometimes, but he's taken a lot more influence from more Japanese. There's a very specific traditional Japanese stage acting, and I can't remember what it's called. But
it does make sense. I know what you mean.
Is it like kabuki?
Like over the top acting.
I think that is it, actually.
Kabuki theatre.
Yeah, and that's probably it. That rings a bell. Also from silent film acting. Obviously, if you ever watch a silent film, you'll see they are overacting.
Yeah.
Heavily.
It's very much more physical theatre.
Because they couldn't speak, they had to exaggerate everything they did.
That's
in order to get the message. Yeah, in order to get the message across. And if you watch like probably one of my favorite Nick Cage films being Vampire's Kiss.
Yes.
Like if you watch that, you can see some of his movements are directly taken from Nosferatu. He's literally copied the movements from Nosferatu because obviously in that film he thinks he's Nosferatu.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense
because he like starts off watching it and then he's like, "I'm a vampire."
But and like, he eats a live cockroach.
There's a number of other films where you can actually see that he's copying specific things that existed in silent films.
I can remember seeing this bit where he was obsessed with this weird German, like black and white film where someone had like a golden hand, and they sort of go like that with a golden hand. And so there's a bit in a film where he specifically goes like that, and then
like, I lost my hand.
Yeah, and he's like specifically referencing this weird old German film that he loves, as if anyone else, that's going to mean anything to anyone else.
So who wins?
We've both talked about our little theories.
Yeah.
This episode we haven't gone as deep into conspiracies as we normally would.
No,
given the subject matter. But Connor, if you had to choose, what would you go for here?
So,
Alien or Illuminati?
Alien, Illuminati.
Keep in mind, he himself believed in the alien one.
I think. Now I'm always going to do this with total honesty, and I think I'm going to have to give Alex his first win.
Yes!
And I'm genuinely
well done, Alex.
That's just how I feel. The Illuminati thing, I was kind of like, yeah, it's, interesting idea, but the alien thing, it just piqued my interest more, and I liked the idea of child Nick Cage believing that. It sort of makes sense. But...
going into a doctor's office, getting told he has normal human organs and a skeleton.
Yeah. I also think it kind of works because Nicolas Cage is weird, but it's like he's not the weirdest man ever. He's not. Do you know what I mean? Like you could look at like a paranoid schizophrenic sort of shivering in the corner and be like, look at him, he's so weird.
He's a bit.
Look how weird he is. Like someone just really mentally unwell. Just like, look how weird he is. He's probably an alien or something. That's not.
I do that all the time personally.
Yeah.
That's what. Like walking down the street, I see one. I'm like, ha! Like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
That's what I do every time.
Just people in the midst of massive mental health crises and just going, look how weird that is. That's not how
I feel like I'm having a massive mental health crisis right now.
Finally, it's not me. See how the tables have turned, Joe? Now it's you.
He must be an alien. That's not what
when you think about it
like.
But when you think about it as well, how weird would Nick Cage actually be if he wasn't, 1, an actor, 2, rich? He'd probably be quite normal.
Just be like me.
And how many of us, if we were in his position, would be doing things equally weird? I probably would. If I had loads of money, I'd probably buy all sorts of weird crap.
I'd buy a tank.
You know?
He probably has a tank. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd buy like a tank and then a yacht and then put the tank on the yacht just for the sake of having a tank and a yacht with the tank on the yacht.
I
imagine I just go wherever the fuck I want.
When he was kind of debt, I imagine he'd bought like so much like weird shit.
Like, how many Legos do you think he's got?
His accountant
he must have a lot of Lego.
Just been looking at his books, going like, "Oh my god!" It's like when
new purchase.
Sort of
he
similar
owned, like,
to
multiple
when
houses and stuff. I know.
I don't doubt that. But it's like when Michael
Jackson bought the world's most haunted mansion.
He bought like this haunted house in New Orleans.
Apparently it was the world's most haunted.
That trash.
Which is kind of hilarious.
It's been owned by a few other famous people.
He also
as well.
slept a night in Dracula's tower. There you go.
Wow.
I'm just so happy that I finally and I don't wait. Does that mean I get the Nick Cage sequence pillow?
Alex.
Yes.
I hate to burst your bubble here, but we still have the questions.
Oh yeah. So I've given Alex
the
genuine...
I'm sorry. I'm genuinely happy for you here that you've won your first.
Finally, I don't have an episode where I mentally break at the end.
But you haven't actually. I mean,
I'm close.
You haven't actually. Yeah, you're close, but
come on, please be easy. Come on, please be
Connor,
only the random bullshit I'll know. Please.
Have you got a question for us?
Yeah, well, I've got a couple, and then I've got like a quiz as well. But right, my couple. The first one is I know that Joe. So Joe sort of said this earlier, but it is to do with what Nick Cage's real name is. But I would also like his middle name as well.
He has a middle. Isn't it
As
Ford?
in, like his real?
Yeah, his birth name, and it is 3 names, and I'd quite like the middle. Well, the like first name, middle name, surname.
Well, Nicholas. It obviously first name. You know, you got that. Middle name.
I'm not actually 100% sure.
I'm going to take a wild guess. His middle name's like Ford.
Okay, and surname?
I said it earlier, and it's completely gone from my mind. It begins with a C.
I mean, the surname's Coppola.
Yeah. That's that one.
Yeah.
Coppola.
Is his middle name Francis?
No.
What?
It's just 3 letters.
Tom.
Oh.
Fuck. I don't know, man.
Give up.
It's Joe.
I'm afraid not. That would be nice if it was Joe, but
I'm trying to think of just 3
it would be nice.
names, and it's
Kim.
I give up. Yeah.
Kim.
Kim.
Yeah. Nicholas.
That's a fun one.
Kim.
Coppola.
CKC.
Yeah.
No, NKC.
I did not expect it to be Kim, to be honest with you.
No.
But there you go.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna have to.
I guess no one gets that point.
No one gets that point.
No. Okay, so we'll have to go to the next question. So my personal favorite filmmaker director is probably Martin Scorsese. Now, Nick Cage has been in one Martin Scorsese film in his career. What is that film?
Ooh.
Joe's probably going to know this one more than me.
I feel like it might have been like...
I want to say...
one of his first films as well, wasn't it?
I don't know any of his films off the top. I don't know them as a director, so...
Okay.
It would just be me guessing a Nicolas Cage film.
This is going to be one of these ones where, like, when you say it to me, I can be like...
I'm just trying to think of what...
It's not particularly early in his career. I think it's late 90s.
It's not.
No, I'd say it's late 90s. Maybe even year 2000, something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, at this rate, we might have to go to the quiz.
What's the answer?
I don't know them as a director, so my only chance of winning is if I say just Nicolas Cage films I know.
I'm so ashamed.
Is it like Vampire's Kiss or something?
No.
Because that one was hilarious.
It's not,
I love
I'm
that.
afraid.
Oh, shit. What was the other film, Joe?
He can't make a proper film like that. Come on.
What was the other film that you wanted me to watch that had Nick Cage in after we watched Vampire's Kiss together? That sounds really weird out of context, but yeah. Well, because we watched Vampire's Kiss and then we were like, oh, you said we got to watch this other one after we couldn't watch The Room. There was another Nicolas Cage film.
I mean, there's loads of Nicolas Cage films we should watch. We should watch them all together.
I mean, honestly, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Right.
I recently watched Matchstick Men, I think it was called. That was quite a good one.
I've not seen
This is
that.
where it turns out that that's the film.
No.
But
what is it? What is it?
So it's called Bringing Out the Dead.
Bringing Out
I've
the
never even
Dead.
heard of that film.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a
I've
Google.
not seen that.
That is the Scorsese Nick Cage film. But seeing as we're still on 0-0 with the questions, I think I might have to take us to this little online quiz that I found.
Yeah, we might have to.
It's
I've seen clips of this one. It's 2000.
Yeah, 2000, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's where he's like an ambulance. Is he an ambulance driver or a paramedic?
After too many years on the job, an EMS paramedic begins an emotional descent during 56-hour tour.
Interesting.
Yeah. So sort of.
Oh, wait, but then it says on here it's 1999.
Oh.
What is it?
I think, although we can absolutely do your quiz, I think it's only fair to say that Alex has won this episode. Really, I mean, we've gone through the 2 questions.
Yes. I get the sequence pillow.
First time we get an actual prize.
Yeah, right. The first time I win, I get an actual prize. Yeah.
About the fact that I won every other episode.
Don't count.
What do I get?
I won the finale.
You should have thought of
Bro,
that.
this is going to carry me the whole week. I'm going to be living on air. Fucking hell.
Oh,
this is brilliant. I'm fucking so happy now. Yeah.
I'm buy myself a cushion too.
Yeah, just buy 2. That's the answer here.
To be fair, that wasn't against the rules, so technically you could just do that and buy 2.
Just buy 2.
I'll put our names
Alex,
on them as well.
one for yourself.
Bro, I'm
Everyone's
pumped now.
happy.
Yes.
Connor, what have you got for us?
Okay, well, seeing as I've got the quiz
Little
here,
game.
might as well. So buzz in if you know the answer. The first question is, who plays the title character in Renfield opposite Nicolas Cage? Now, all of these are multiple choice. So for this one, do either of you know it, or do you want the options?
I need options. I don't know.
I know it.
But there you go.
So Nicholas Hoult.
It's Nicholas Hoult, yeah.
There you are.
Double Nick.
Correct.
Nice little clap for you there, Joe.
At least I'm winning something.
Episode question 2. His performance in what movie won Cage his Oscar? Because he has one Oscar. Do you want the options?
Is it? I think I know this. Is it National Treasure, like 1 or 2?
No.
No.
Give us the options.
Okay, your options are Leaving Las Vegas, Adaptation, not adaption, and Peggy Sue Got Married.
I think it's Leaving Las Vegas.
I think it is as well.
I think it's either that or Adaptation.
Okay.
Because I've heard of that one before.
Yeah, it's Leaving Las Vegas.
There you are.
The next one. Which version
Adaptation is a weird film. It's a good film, but it's a weird film.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, I've not seen that one.
Lads Movie Night?
He plays 2 versions of himself in it. So it's 2 Nick Cages for the price of 1.
That's always good.
Hell yeah.
Which version of Spider-Man does Cage voice in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Spider Noir.
Yeah, Spider Noir.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Spider Noir.
I saw it and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
How many Ghost Rider movies did Cage star in? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
2.
I
only remember there being 2 movies with him in it.
Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Spirit of Vengeance. Yeah.
God, I really like that movie.
What is the alias?
Good film.
What is the hero alias of Damon McCready, Cage's character in Kick-Ass? Is it Big Man,
Big
Big
Daddy.
Evil, or Big Daddy?
It's Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. With a name
It's
like Big Daddy.
It's Big Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm just going for whatever Joe goes at this point.
In 2009, Cage starred in Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, a reboot of the 1992 film Bad Lieutenant. But who played the lead role in the original? Is it James Caan, Harvey Keitel, or Ray Liotta?
I want to say Harvey. I want to say Harvey.
Yeah.
You're going Harvey Keitel. That is correct.
Hey!
That was a shot in the dark. That
Me
one.
too. Yeah. Me too. I was like, Harvey, there you go.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, man. Go on, adrenaline.
Which Irish actress plays Cage's wife in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? Is it Kerry Condon? Is it Aisling Bea? Or is it Sharon Horgan?
Kerry?
Joe's gone Kerry. Is it Kerry, Aisling, or Sharon?
I'm going to go Sharon.
It is Sharon Horgan.
Boom.
Boom.
Yes.
And
yeah, of course you say that. You don't have a Nicolas Cage pillow coming your way.
Last one. Now, this is a quote from Cage's character in the film The Rock, which I think that's one of the best Cage films, actually. I do like The Rock. But there's a blank in this quote, and you need to tell me what the blank is. So his character says, "Look, I'm just a biochemist. Most of the time, I work in a little glass jar and lead a very uneventful life. I drive a blank, a beige one. But what I'm dealing with here is one of the most deadly substances the Earth has ever known. So what say you cut me some friggin' slack?" Now, in the blank, when he says, "I drive is that Nissan, Toyota, or Volvo?
Toyota. I think it's Toyota. It just sounds right in that quote. I have a Toyota.
I'm going to say Toyota as well.
It sounds like it fits. Oh, that or Volvo, but I think more Toyota.
Okay. It is Volvo.
Okay. Yeah. I can see how it fits in there. Yeah. It was.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But
Close.
I think you did about equally well on that.
Yeah, to be fair. Yeah, I think
He copied most of my answers.
No proof. No proof. Don't know. Conspiracy theory, quiz. That is nothing but conspiracy theory. No proof.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a quick one for you guys as well.
Okay.
It's just a simple. I'm going to give you four things that Nick Cage has apparently done.
Right.
And you can tell me which one of these things is true.
Okay.
Only one is true.
Only one is true. Okay.
So, first one.
Yeah.
He unintentionally purchased a dinosaur skull that he then had to return to Mongolia because it turns out it was stolen. Number 2. He once owned a 2-headed snake. Number 3. His cat unintentionally, once again, another unintentional thing, ingested some of his magic mushrooms. So his reaction to this was to take mushrooms as well and then just vibe with the cat. And number 4, he once woke up at 2 a.m. to find a naked intruder at the end of his bed wearing his jacket and eating a fudgesicle.
I saw those articles earlier today, so I know at least 3 of them are true. I'm not sure about the 2-headed snake, but you know what? I'm gonna say they're all fucking true.
I was
Because 3 of them are true.
I was honestly thinking the same. I really think they all sound true.
Yeah, they're all true.
Yeah. Because I saw the one about he accidentally brought the dinosaur fossil, the one where he tripped out on mushrooms with his cat, and the one where he woke up to a home intruder eating a fudge chocolate's feet naked at 2 a.m.
The mushroom one, I was like, man, this sounds like something I could imagine Alex doing.
I'm not gonna lie, when you said that, I was like, damn, I really want to be remembered as someone who will do crazy shit like that.
My cat took mushrooms. What do I do?
Fuck.
Shall I take it to the vet?
No.
Well, I can't just let it trip on its own.
I gotta educate him, help him through it. You know?
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone who has stuck with us through all 6 of these episodes. We hope to see you again in season 2.
Season 2, that should be happening soon.
It's been a shocking end to this season. Alex finally winning.
Finally won, and I got a Nick Cage pillow. I'm gonna definitely post that when I get it as proof. I got it, because otherwise, who knows? Who knows?
We need proof of you and your pillow.
My pillow. Yeah, my victory. And also, if you somehow made it through all 6 episodes and you're still watching and still interested, get help.